Each year, Chase Recovery, based in Staffordshire, invites lived experienced recovery organisations and rehabs from across the UK to embark on a journey of self-discovery, to show that recovery from drug and alcohol addiction is possible. Their quest was to conquer Moel Siabod in North Wales, to come together and unite as one. We hear some of their stories. What is it about this trip to Snowdonia that you enjoy the most personally?
I think what I really like, and this is our third time, but the first time we just went camping, and it was a small thing with Chase Recovery, and we, fearful that we'd spend money that we wouldn't think was worthwhile. It was good, but the weather wasn't great. It was camping and we were only away for a couple of days. So last year it was you that said, why don't we open it up for more people, because we could have this wonderful place which sleeps 63 or 64 people. And so we found ourselves inviting other places, because we're quite well connected with other recovery communities. I think last year we had 9 communities represented. So it was quite something to see other people, other tribes, if you like, from elsewhere in England and Wales coming together, who were all aspiring to live new lives of meaning and purpose.
There are no dues or fees for membership. We are fully self-supporting through our own contributions. We are not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. We do not wish to engage in any controversy, and we neither endorse nor oppose any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay free from cocaine and all other mind-altering substances.
So it's almost like supporting the same football team. If you're on holiday, it doesn't matter where you are, if you support the same football team, you've got something to talk about, something in common. And also the great privilege of seeing people at completely different stages of recovery. And I like people. I often despair in them, but I like them. I like talking to different people and hearing about their experiences. And it also keeps me teachable, because I haven't got it sussed. I don't know what's right for everybody else. All I can do is talk about my experience and marry that up with what we have at Chase as a structured program to really help people see physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually what addiction is stripping away, and what newfound recovery will look like if they put the action in and give it time. There's no quick fix.
What part of the experience makes you most, nervous or excited, or how do you find the different dynamics and how people in recovery come together? Because notoriously, people would suggest that this wouldn't be possible because of the people that we once were. So what is it about this experience that proves or will challenge other people's opinions on what it's about?
Well, because ultimately it's addicts that have organised it. It's addicts that have suggested not just going away and doing a boring camping trip, but let's try and stretch ourselves. Let's try and provide different walks for different capabilities. Let's invite a few communities. Some communities haven't been able to come or don't want to come, and that's okay. All we're trying to do is connect people, because connection is the opposite of addiction. But when you find people who are considerate of each other's needs, are trying to help each other along the path, there's a sort of humility there, and also a lot of laughter. I've been laughing belly aches today, and I didn't laugh at all at the end of my addiction, and it took me some time to learn to laugh without feeling worried about whether I was laughing at the right things or not in my recovery. So of course it's like herding cats at times. Of course, people question why you're doing it, should you be doing it, but I suppose it's not knowing what's going to happen, it's just putting the ingredients in. It might lash it down tomorrow, it might be like last year, too hot. But either way, people have been swimming in the sea today, people have been making sandwiches today, people have been washing up, making each other cups of tea, and people have been checking in on each other. So we're just getting some noise in the background because they've just finished a gong bath. or some sound bath, which is just incredible. Guy came up with all this stuff and everybody's gone through and meditated and they've been doing all these groovy sounds. And so it's just nice watching it sometimes.
So, final question, big climb ahead tomorrow, Paul.
For me.
All I knew what to do is how to use drink and drugs. I didn't know how to socialise with people, how to keep a job down, how to run my own house, and I just had no idea of life. And I'd see other people living happily. I wasn't happy at all, and I'd always think, oh, I'd like to be like this, but I didn't know how to. I didn't have an idea of how to live. And a little part of me wanted to get well, and I think that kept me going. I tried, but I just didn't know how to.
So a day in the life of living in hell, what would that look like?
For me, it was living on the streets, taking drugs, being scared of my own shadow. I just had no will for life. I just didn't want to live. I didn't know how to live. All my organs were failing, so basically, yeah, I was like a baby. I just didn't know what to do, how to live. Hiding away from every single person, scared of anything and everything. Kidney failing. I was wearing, literally, I was like wearing nappies. I couldn't, my body was, all of it was breaking down, and yeah, I didn't want to live, really, and it was like, it was torture for me to be alive. I didn't have no desire to live. Yeah, everything was scary.
So yesterday you achieved something quite big. A, how has it made you feel coming all the way to North Wales? And what was your feelings towards going up a mountain?
I've got to say it's my biggest achievement in recovery so far, apart from stopping using. And when I generally couldn't walk a year ago, I set my mind at the bottom of the mountain. Doesn't matter how hard it was, I was going to do it. And the feeling, I can't explain it. I've never had this feeling. It's just, I don't know.
I've been for 6 years.
So, Nikki, we're going all the way up there.
Wow.
How do you feel about that?
Great, can't wait.
You gonna smash it?
I'm going to do it, no matter what it takes. But at first, I was trying to keep up with the people, but then I thought, do you know what? I've got to do this step by step and not keep looking up, because I thought I was scared of heights, and I'm not. Nothing can be more tough than this. And it was getting really slippy and windy, and I thought, you know what? I enjoyed walking it a little bit on my own, getting my own peace of mind, and yeah, to get up the top was just amazing. I never thought, really, generally, last week, I didn't think I would do it. I'm generally happy. Every day I wake up happy, not worrying about who I've hurt, what I've done last night, you know, who's coming for me, am I in debt? And yeah, I'm just generally happy.
If you could have spoken to yourself 17 years ago, what would you have said to yourself on day one, 17 years ago?
Don't sell yourself short. Abstinence isn't going to bring you happiness. Abstinence is just a part, you know, there's an old saying, you have to turn the water off before you can start mend the plumbing. Starting to mend the plumbing, but actually get out of the way of your own recovery. My thinking kept me drinking. So I had to, it's almost like putting a computer on factory reset again and deciding whether I want to download this app or that thing, and not knowing which ones to trust anymore. So it was a new beginning, and I didn't realise how long it was going to take for me to just relax into my new life, not be fearful of the future, and trust that if I just get out of the way of my petty designs, if I just trust in the process, things happen quickly and happen better than I would imagine. There's a saying in the fellowship I belong to: trust God, clean house, help others. Now, I'm a militant atheist, so the trust God bit was difficult. So I suppose the only thing I had to learn to do was to be honest, so honest about the bits that I didn't understand and didn't want to do. My sponsor asked me to get on my knees and pray to something bigger than me, not God, but just something bigger than me, in a morning and a night, on my knees. And I said, I can't do the God thing. And he explained that there's 12 steps are there to connect me with a power greater than myself, because left to my own power, addiction always wins. And actually now when I look back, I had a higher power in my life. It was called addiction. It decided whether I went home for Christmas. It decided whether I rang, at what time I rang people. It decided on whether I went to work, where my money went. So I was already enslaved to this thing that was taking over my life. I just thought I was choosing it until I really wanted to stop and found that I couldn't. So I would really, in that time, my sister unfortunately got lung cancer as a non-smoker and was dead within 6 weeks, and I think I was about 3.5 months sober. I've been through a divorce. I've had to walk out of jobs because my recovery was being affected. So I've just had to learn, and it's been a series of surrenders really to the program that I follow, thinking I'll just do the next right thing, that I've realised that the more I can relax and not try and control everything, the future path just seems to open up. But it's possibly been only in the last 5 or 6 years that I would say I'd found real freedom, where like I say, it's not that I don't care what people think. I'm not responsible for the way they think about me, whereas I was always hostage to other people's opinions, and often people that I didn't really like, but I was worried about them. So in my work now, I'm happy that people, if they don't like me, as long as I've stuck to my principles and been honest about who I am, it's okay if they don't like me, whether that's people I'm trying to help through addiction or whether that's services that just don't get where I'm coming from. So I suppose integrity's always been important to me, and I had a cognitive dissonance that I believed in things like integrity, and yet I was living my life that there was no integrity.
Can you tell me, who is Ben?
Who is Ben? What a good question. I don't know. I still don't know, actually. It's a journey for me. I think I'm finding out day by day who Ben is, my authentic self, and it's quite a beautiful journey to have. Since I've been going to a place called Chase Recovery, and it's just done wonders for my mental health, and I'm sort of learning each day and finding out, yeah.
So who was Ben?
Oh, Ben was a desperate drug addict for many, many years. You know, a swirling vortex of a mess, really. I'll describe it as, definitely. Class A drugs, heroin, crack cocaine, pretty much anything I could put into my system, alcohol, all sorts of things. I caused a lot of harm to my, family and friends and people that I loved. It's really, really hard to now I'm getting clean to reflect on that. I really want to change that and kind of make things better and right, definitely. I went into many prisons as a young man. I mean, I'm pretty young now, I'm 44, but in my 20s, early 20s, I was in a mental institution. I had drug-induced psychosis through amphetamines and drinking alcohol, no sleep. And I found myself in an institution for 2 weeks. And it was a real dark time in my life, and I wouldn't ever want to go back there, ever. The prison was really, it kind of saved my life. I'll say prison. It was very bad, and it was also, I took the good from it. because it gave me a chance to get clean, but I didn't sort my head out. You know, I was still the same person when I came out, so I was making all the same mistakes and falling into all the same old routines. So, like on a daily basis, I would get up. I would, I smoked heroin first, so I'd get the foil out and I'd chase the dragon. That was just to get out of bed and function. And then it would be going out, stealing and crime and all kinds of nasty, horrible things.
What was the turning point when you thought I could do something different? What was the point where you entered into a recovery community?
Well, I found a place called Chase Recovery. I was really lucky because a friend of mine works there, and I heard he was working there, so I thought I'd give it a go. And all through my life, I always shied away from sort of counselling and things like that and therapy. I always thought, it's not going to work for me. It won't do any good. But it's just done absolute wonders for me. I can't describe how I'm in such a better place now, and it's took me a long, long time to get to where I am. It's been a long old road, but I feel every day I feel a little bit happier now. It's quite a beautiful thing to experience. It's really good.
So describe where you are at the moment,
We
Ben.
are in beautiful North Wales, and I actually used to come here a lot. With family and stuff, but it was either for picking magic mushrooms or it would be on a session. And I'm here clean, sober, and it feels absolutely amazing. It's just brilliant.
So what has this trip meant to you personally?
It's like I say, it's a journey. It's a growing for me, and it's just been brilliant. I'm kind of stuck for words. It's very overwhelming. I get emotional thinking about it because. We're amongst a group of beautiful people here, and the advice I get off them is invaluable. I was on 120 ml of methadone for a long time, and I sort of left the Class A's. I managed to give them up, and someone asked me, he said, well, Ben, how did you get off heroin and crack? And I couldn't remember. I honestly had to scratch my head and think, well, how did I get off them? And then I sort of thought about it, and it was a combination of using alcohol and other drugs that I'd sort of replaced for the heroin and crack. And I went along in life like that for a very long time. I thought, I've beaten heroin, I've beaten Class A drugs and crack. Who does that? I managed to get off methadone, and I just replaced it with alcohol and marijuana then, because I'm an addict, pure and simple. And it's come, and I've come to terms with that now, coming to the chase and stuff like that, for sure.
You managed to complete Moel Siabod. So what were the thoughts going through your mind at the start?
At the start, because I started to run during lockdown because I was so isolated and I just wanted something to do. I started to run, and there's a hill by me called Chain Lane in Staffordshire, and it's quite a brutal hill. And I started running up that every day, and I couldn't hardly, I was very unfit and overweight. And I started to run up that hill, and something just inside me wanted to break free, I suppose. And I started to run, do a little bit more each day, and now I'm quite an accomplished runner now. I can go on quite long runs, and it's a good foundation for my recovery. So yeah, and the mountain, I suppose, but my fitness helped me do the mountain basically, But I really enjoyed it. It was brilliant. It was really good.
What was it that you found when you got to the top?
A sense of achievement, a sense of community, because I always run alone. I put my music in and I'm sort of in my own world. It's like my form of meditation running, I suppose. And to do it as a team and have the people around and encouraging each other and watching other people's confidence grow, it just helps me as well. It's massive for me, that is. Yeah, it's like a long old run and a struggle, a mental struggle more. For physically, I'm okay physically. I found it quite easy, really. I'm not, I don't want to have a big head, but I did enjoy it. But I suppose psychologically for me, it was massive.
So a year ago, would you have imagined that you'd have been here?
Wow, not at all. Not at all. I'm in a wonderful theatre company, Detox Factor, and I was in a play. a few weeks back, and if you would have said, Ben, you're going to be in a play, in front, performing in front of 100 people, I would have looked at you sideways and never dreamt I'd do something like that. Very liberating, and it was really, really beautiful to do. And my mum came and she was absolutely chuffed, So it's nice. It was nice for my mum to see that as well, because I put her through hell. I put her through absolute hell, and I feel deeply ashamed about that. And I'd like to, make her proud of me, I suppose. Yeah.
If you could go back and speak to Ben 10 years ago, is there anything that you'd want to say?
Wow. Yeah. I would say, get yourself to Chase Recovery, Ben. There's a way out, and there really is a way out, and I couldn't see one. Yeah, that's what I'd say to him. I'd say, there's a way out.